Okay, this is a video for 7.4a, rational exponents. So this side of the worksheet, this front side, has to do with the case when the number that's under our our radical, for instance in example 1, the exponent attached to the number is 1. And converting from the radical to the rational expression, and then from the rational expression back to the radical expression. So, we'll do a couple examples. Hopefully we'll pick up on it pretty quickly. In number 1, this is saying the square root of x. Now, the square root, it's almost like there's a hidden 2 here. And since there is an exponent of 1 by that x, we can rewrite this as x to the 1/2 power. The exponent by the x goes on top, and the number by the radical goes on the bottom of the fraction. So keeping that in mind, let's do number 3. The exponent associated with 512 again is 1. So we can rewrite this as 512 to the 1/3. We say 1/3 because the exponent by 512 is 1, and the root of the radical is 3. Let's do one more of those. Let's do number 6. We can rewrite this quickly as, and this time 27 and x is a quantity, so let's put 27 and x in parentheses, and then on the outside of the parentheses, since it's a cube root, it is 1/3. Now let's go to the next section. Look at number 13. Now we're going the opposite way. We have x to the 1/2. That's the same thing as the square root of x. So we can rewrite it like that. Let's take a look at 19. X times y to the 1/6. Since x times y are in parentheses, both x and y will be under our radical, and since the bottom number in this fraction is 6, so it's x times y to the 1/6, a 6 needs to go out front of our radical. Let's try one more. Let's do number 20. 7 times x is in parentheses, so 7x needs to be under our radical, and since it is an 8, 7x to the 1/8, we will put an 8 outside of our radical like that. Alright, let's flip to the back side. Now these are the situations where the exponent associated to our number or our variable is not a 1. So when we write this as a rational expression or as a fraction exponent, the top number in our fraction will not be 1. It'll be whatever the exponent of our variable is. So x to the 4th, and the cubed root of that is going to be rewritten as this, x, and then the 4 needs to go on top, and then since it is the cubed root, the 3 goes on the bottom. So 4 on top is the cubed root, 3 on bottom. Let's do another one. Number 30. We have an x to the 6th power. So that 6th power will be important, and it is the 9th root of x to the 6th, so that 9 will be important. So it's going to be x, and then our fraction exponent, 6 on top, 9 on the bottom. Number on top, this number on bottom. Alright, now let's rewrite it a different way. 33 to the 5/3 power, or x to the 5/3 power. So x is what's going to be under our radical. And since the 5 is on top, it's going to be x to the 5th. And since the 3 is on the bottom, it's going to be the 3rd root of x to the 5th. Let's try one more. 38. X to the 5/2. X has to be under our radical. Since a 5 is on the top, it's x to the 5th. And since a 2 is on the bottom, it's the square root of x to the 5th. And now I can write a 2 if I want, or sometimes we just don't write the 2 for the square root.